What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Creative. Go ahead, say it with me. We are back at it again to do what? To create something great. Now, today I am super excited what I have planned for y'all today. We are going to be going through all of the strategies that we started here on the channel, whether it be the bruh strategy or the It Takes Two strategy, right? Another classic. Some of you all remember some of these names for the strategies that we've created here, right? But we just didn't finish. So we're going to be going through all of these strategies, right? So these are a myriad of strategies from mean reversion to gap plays, to being able to use the wick mean reversion, right? So there's a couple of strategies that I'm going to be going through here with y'all, and I want to either use realized skewness, right, or this slippage model that we stumbled over, right? And the way we found it was via Google Scholars. So we have a lot planned for y'all today. We're going to be going through all of our strategies. I'm going to be back testing them again. I'm going to be introducing new items, right, to these strategies, whether it's this research papers that we reviewed, or other ideas that we've taken from other strategies. Okay. So if you haven't already, I need you to go ahead and like and subscribe. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Now, before I do that, hold on. Beautiful. So the first strategy that we're going to go over is the bruh strategy, right? So what this strategy does is a z-score mean reversion strategy. Let me just jump down here. What the strategy does, it buys when the price falls way below the support floor. Now, we always talk about support and resistance, right? So support is the lowest level that the strategy can go, and then, or excuse me, the asset can go, right? So if it breaks through support levels, it's crashing through the lowest levels, and resistance is the highest that the underlying asset can go, right? So it's just making higher highs or it's making lower lows, right? Not can go, excuse me. It's making lower lows than the previous candle or higher highs. So let me bring up trading view real quick. Now I'm going to look at QQQ. Let's just go ahead and switch over. And what we have right now is I'm looking at QQQ, and each one of these candlesticks represents 1 minute of data between the buyers and sellers, right? And what I like to do is use these Bollinger Bands. And these Bollinger Bands allows us to see where the asset is overbought or oversold, right? So what we're doing with this particular strategy is we're saying, okay, once the strategy goes down past the support levels, right, it's making lower lows. And whenever we see red candles, that means the bears or the sellers are in control. So they're pushing the price lower. Whenever you see green candles, that means the bulls or the buyers are in control, so they're pushing the price higher. So this strategy, the bruh strategy, is saying that, all right, bet when the price falls way below the strong floor, which is the support floor, it looks like a stretched rubber band. We're expecting it to bounce right back up, right? And then when it goes up, we're expecting it to drop right back down. So that's what this bruh strategy is doing. So what we're going to do is go ahead and go straight to the folder. Here's the strategy itself, right? Again, what we're expecting as soon as we have a drop, this is our frictional point. We're expecting a bounce down, and it also works inverted as well, right? So we're having the SPY, and SPY is the S&P 500. This is the top 500 companies within the New York Stock Exchange. And what we're doing is an example of how this strategy works. So let's say SPY is at 495. Then we have it drop below our measurement or our parameters that we've set. And now we're saying, okay, this is our entry zone because we're expecting a bounce back up. And also the inverse happens. We're starting at 495. And now we're seeing it being able to drop down, right? So it's bouncing up, it's breaking through the resistance levels. Now we're seeing, okay, now we're having support for it to being able to drop back down to its average. So what I want to do is go ahead and let's go and quickly run the strategy so I can get the current back test results so I can see how it is and what it's performing like. So let's go ahead and, because I haven't looked at this in a while. So let's go ahead and run it. Invalid escape. Oh, I was about to say a syntax warning. So the backtest is running on 2024, and I want to see how well it performs, and even if it's worth saving or not, right? So while it loads, this is my process. We go through, we have an idea, and then we back test it. And then if the strategy, if I need to, I can use machine learning and optimization in order to make the back test better, and also use walk forward validation to make sure that we're not overfitting on the strategy, right? And then once all these pass, that's when we go to the bot development. So I don't skip these steps in between. I want to make sure that we go meticulously through this. So we already have a strategy in play. Now I want to see how well it performs. All right, so I just saw a 50% win rate. Okay, let me. Okay, so all of our strategies start at $100. Oh, let me start. This is not financial advice. If you do see financial advice, please make sure you talk to a certified financial planner, a financial advisor, or those that are licensed in order to assist you. This is merely educational. If you do have any questions, please make sure you gear them towards them. All right, let's go on. Hold on. Let me pen. All right, Gucci them. So the strategy started at $100 and it was able to go from $100 to 1,300, right? We have a Sharpe ratio of 15, so that's incredibly low. Even though return is saying 1,200, that Sharpe ratio is letting me know one of two things, right? The max drawdown is going to be super high. I think it's anywhere between, like, it could be 40%, maybe higher than that. And what the Sharpe ratio is letting us know is the measures how much extra return you get for each unit of risk, right? So think of it like miles per gallon for trading. A car that has 30 miles on 1 gallon is better than one that goes 15 miles. A strategy with a Sharpe ratio of 2.0 is better than one with a Sharpe ratio of 0.5. Excuse me. So how it works is we look at the average return per trade. We divide it by how bumpy the ride is, and that bumpiness is going to be volatility. And then what we're going to do is the higher trades equal smoother but more consistent profits. So real world example, imagine you and your friend both made $100 this month trading. You made $5 steadily over 20 days, was a smooth ride, but your friend lost 50, then made 150, then lost 30, then made lost 30, then made the 30 back, right? Back to the 100. A roller coaster. You both ended up with $100, but your Sharpe ratio is much better because your results were more consistent and predictable, right? So a Sharpe ratio of 0.5 lets us know that this strategy definitely needs work, and that's what we're here to do, right? Serentino ratio, this is a Sharpe's ratio smarter cousin. It only counts for bad volatility, losing money. This is not the good volatility, making extra money. The problem with the Sharpe ratio, it treats all ups and downs as risk, but wait, it's making more money than expected really at risk. No, not a good thing, right? So Sharpe ratio tells trader A, so examples of two traders. Trader A returns are 5% across the board, boring but consistent. Trader B returns are 2, 15, 3, and 20. We have some big wins. So Sharpe ratio might tell trader A is better because trader B is more volatile. And volatility is meaning that we're going from 2 to 15%, then we drop down to 3%, then we spike up to 20%. Even though you're making money across the board, what Sharpe says is that it's still volatile, right? It's still volatile. So that volatility is what impacts a Sharpe ratio. So yes, you can be making money across the board consistently, but if it's not as consistent as, all right, maybe have a percentage point or two or PP. When I say that, I'm just gonna say percentage point. Pause. So when you have it consistent, like 5% across the board, we're seeing that it's boring, but it's consistent, right? That's the Sharpe ratio that most traders are looking for, right? But the Sharpe ratio that we're writing, because we're in zero DTE land, yes, we can be over here, right? So that's why we can see a Sharpe ratio not as high, but the returns are high. So that's why I want us to be able to keep that in mind. Our system quality score is 2.3. A lot of work for us to do. So drawdown. Allow me to look at this. The drawdown is 72%, right? So at one point in time, the strategy went from $100 all the way down to, let's call it 27, $28. But the deceiving thing is, right, if you just look at the numbers, the strategy went from $100 to 1300 in 364 days, right? But the strategy did lose money, right? So that's what we're here to do, to see what we can do in order to improve it. So there's a lot of room for the improvement. Recovery factor is how quickly does the strategy recovery from lost. Your return of 1219.3 divided by the max drawdown is 16.82. This means that your total profit is 16 times bigger than the worst drop, right? So we have strong recovery ability, right? But the thing is, you got to be able to stomach the fact that we may drop down to 72 or even $28, right? Win rate is 50% out of 251 trades, right? It's a coin flip if we're going to win or not. So that's why the strategy needs a little bit more edge. And that's what we're here to do, right? So profit factor of 1.41. What this means is for every $1 that we're losing, we're making $1.41 back, right? Uh, yeah, this could be better. This could be better. And here's our monthly breakdown. So we started off strong, right? The first quarter was beautiful, and then it kind of just went to shit. Then it came back strong. Then we have August and September was beautiful, right? So shout out to all the Leos, Virgos, in there. There's also some Libras. So shout out to you. Then October, then we finished off the year strong. Directional seems like the puts are doing a little bit better than the calls. And then time of day. Oh, that's interesting. 80%. Oh, okay. 10:45. And then days of the week, which day? Thursdays are better. So if we trade at only 10:45 on Thursdays, we may be good, man. Who wants to do that? All right. So now let's go ahead and open up Claude Code. Oh, player. My fault. I do something. My fault. I was trying to do two things at once. All right, let's go ahead and open up Claude Code. Now, what I want to do is say review the following strategy and explain it to us such that we understand it and that any 12-year-old can get it. Do not talk down or be demeaning to us. Rather, you're the professor and we're the student in this options algo class, right? Seeking guidance on our strat. Advise only using what 428 total tokens because you don't need that much for your output response. Use RG, grep, awk, terminal commands to properly review it, then advise. All right, we're using the Claude 4.5 Opus model in Claude Code, and I like to start all of our prompts, even though, yes, I can see that the spelling isn't that great, fam. That's not the point. A point is to be able to start it off with the context, let you know to break it down so I can understand it. Don't be condescending, and then don't just read the file altogether, but I need you to use these different terminal commands in order for you to get a thorough breakdown of what the strategy does and how it works. All right, so let that go. If y'all do have any questions, let me know. Right now, we're proper working. Proper working, fam. All right. Do I want to? Let me just close you for now. Let me just close you for now. All right, Brubra is a mean reversion strategy with fractional support and resistance levels. The fractionals equal the price reversal points as the low surrounded, a low surrounded by higher lows. Think of it like where did the price, why can I talk? Where did the price bounce before? The base bouncing is when the price dips below support level and expect a snapback. The BB filter confirms the sellers are exhausted before buying calls or puts. So we do have the BB filter in there. I was worried. Maybe, okay, I need to increase the threshold. The PARMs, hold time, look back. Okay. Understand that. All right. Bet. Now advise on the full PARMs of this strat and explain as well as the Greeks. Same guidelines. All right, we're getting somewhere. So this strategy has legs. I'm not gonna hold you. It's just a matter of being able to tweak it a bit so it works for us systematically, and like I don't have to worry about. And if, I'm not gonna hold you. If the strategy works and it's good, we're gonna ship it off and it's gonna become a bot, right? We're gonna decide if we need to go to the machine learning optimization and walk forward. If it doesn't, then we're just gonna go straight to bot development. But right now, we're in these first two steps in order to get our strategy a lot more on par. All right, so here's our delta. Out of the money sweet spot, higher delta equals more money movement, but pricier. Okay, delta is between 0.2 and 0.35. What delta tells you is the probability of profit. It lets you know. Okay, delta tells you one of two things. It tells you for every dollar movement, right, positive or negative, this is how much your underlying option contract is going to move, right? So at the delta of 0.2, that lets me know if the stock goes up $1, then the delta for this option contract is 0.12. Then this option contract is going to go $12. Now, why is it $12? Every option contract has 100 shares, right? So every option contract equals 100. So it's 100 times 0.12 equals $12. So the range is from $12 to $35 for every $1 movement. We're targeting 20. Excuse me. Gamma, this is how we select options. What gamma is, if delta lets you know how much the option is going to move for every dollar movement, gamma is going to let you know how much delta is going to move, right? So delta is the car, gamma is the acceleration pedal, right? So delta is moving, gamma is going to let you know how fast delta is going to move, right? So gamma equals delta acceleration, high gamma equals your delta explodes if the price moves your way, but it's critical for 0 DTE bounces. IV, or implied volatility, is going to let us know how expensive the underlying contract is. If IV is high, it lets us know that the contract is expensive and the market is expecting a big move. If IV is low, the market is not expecting a big move and contracts are a lot more affordable. So this is how we select the option contract. Here's our premium filter. We're only buying contracts between $10 and $50. And commission. Okay. So in translation, we're hunting high gamma, low delta options that explodes on the bounce while keeping the cost basis low. Beautiful. All right. Review the BB power, the bear bull power, right? So when I say BB power, bears, what do bears want? Bears want to be able to push the price down. Remember, we talked about that before, right? So bears are these red guys over here, right? So their main aim is to be able to push their price down to new support levels, right? So they want to push down to lower lows. So this is where the bears want to hang out. The bulls, or these green guys here, they want to be able to push the price to new resistance levels. So these where these guys want to hang out, right? So our aim is to be able to, I want to find out, because we created a filter that allows us to be able to figure out. I kind of borrowed it from TradingView, and I'm going to share it to you, but don't worry. If you do want it, just go ahead and put in the comments BB power, and I can definitely share that to you because that's no problem. That's what we do in this community, right? Each one teach one type shit. So with this BB power, it lets us know if the bears are in control or if the bulls are in control. I want to see if there's a minimum threshold. I review the BBP or BB power and advise if there is a min threshold, and also what confirms the signal before the trade is executed, right? So once signal is triggered, how is it confirmed? So we're really taking a diagnostic look as far as to like what's going on, how can we solve it? Is there a plausible solve? And I think there's room to grow for this strategy, right? And I can create a strategy based off Friday, and I kind of lit on that. I want to make it like Friday 12, nah, like Friday 2. Which Friday is your favorite? For me, I think it's Friday after next. I ain't gonna hold you. Next Friday does slide. But Friday after next, I feel like I could just turn that on and it's always good. But next Friday does slide. Or you can just do Friday. All right. Well, let's keep going. My fault. So BB's okay. The docs mention the BB power as a filter, but the code actually uses the Z score for signals. Oh wow. So Z score overbought or oversold. So no BB power exists in this code. The code confirmation described in the header is the BB power for calls, but it's not documented. So the current signal confirmation flow is we only trade between 9:58 and 11:22. I'm probably going to fix that a bit. The Z-score calculation is we're using the last 5 bars as a linear regression. We want to be able to draw a straight line and figure out, okay, is it trending upwards or downwards? And we're using the past 5 minutes in order to do so. Here is our threshold. If it's trending downwards, then we are buying a call, expecting a bounce up. If it's trending upwards, we're buying a put, expecting it to bounce down, right? So oversold, overbought. So the strategy is missing the advertised confirmation layer. All right. So as I promised you before, I told you I was going to give you the BB power function. Let me go grab it real quick. I have it, but I just kind of want to make it a bit exaggerative. Yeah. My fault. My fault, bruv. So here it is. Simple function, right? It lets us know if the bears or the bulls are in control. It's using a simple EMA function and allows us to be able to gauge this proper, right? So we're not going against the underlying pressures of the market. All right, review. Here it is. Make sure you understand it and then double check the code and ensure there is not an implementation in it before we add it. Well, proper. All right, beautiful. There's firecrackers on Christmas Eve. I guess when people have a reason to throw up firecrackers, they are. So that's what's up. Your Pine script, I did get it from Pine script. And what is Pine script? Pine script is the language or the code. Is that a language or a code? I think the code or the output. That's the file type. Okay, there we go. That's where I'm going to line. It is the file type from TradingView that allows traders. Let me just show y'all instead of trying to like explain this. Here's TradingView. Remember, this is a free platform that allows traders or whomever wants to look at any individual stock, ETF, crypto, right? You can definitely use TradingView. And sometimes when I'm stuck or when I want to create new strategies and I don't want, I'm kind of being lazy, I'll come here and in this indicator, you can put almost anything here. And in this indicator, these are different people within the community that'll come up with strategies that'll work for themselves and that they'll share it with us. Now, a little caveat here, right? Adapt it for yourself. There is AI that you can use in order to do so. So don't be lazy. Take the extra step in order to adapt it for yourself, right? So to give you an example, let's go ahead and put best, right? So you're going to see, let me zoom in so you can actually see it. Well, my fault. So we're gonna see best super trend moving. I think we even did some of this. Best rainbow strategy, right? Best buy 1.0, best pivot clouds. Let me pick that. So best pivot clouds. So you see this brackets here, right? It says source code. We're gonna click on the bracket, not read me, but we're gonna click on the bracket, and then it's gonna populate. Now it used to populate from the bottom, but now it's from the side. It's like, all right, y'all did something different. That's cool. Here's the Pine script. The Pine script is the file that we're going to take and use in order to build out a strategy, right? So you could take this Pine script and build out a strategy for it. So maybe I'll do that afterwards, but we're focused here. We're on a mission. All right, so let's go back to the mission. So that's when it says Pine script, so you can get the explanation there. We're using a EMA. EMA is the exponential moving average. A moving average allows you to draw a straight line. If it goes above the EMA, that lets you know that, hey, the bulls are in control. If it goes below the EMA, that lets you know the bears are in control, right? We're using 5 periods. 5 periods are just 5 minutes. So we're using the last 5 minutes on that line to try to figure out who's in control, the bulls or the bears. Here's the thresholds that we can use. No implementation. All right, I want to give a quick example because there's this simple little backtest right here that use BB power and EMA or DMA, right? I want to see if it has the thresh. I kind of don't want to show it right now. All right. All right. We want to implement it with a threshold of 0.03. No, 0.03. 0.003. Does that make sense? Before we proceed. Let's get it, shawty. Oh, thank you. Your prime script has an oscillation. It goes back and forth between -2 and +2 with thresholds of -1. Okay, with the threshold of 0.03, you trigger on virtually any zero reading. That's basically no filter. My suggestion is to start at 0. Okay, smart guy. Let's start at 0.03. Let's start there. Got it? Stop testing me, bruh. Like acting like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm doing that for a reason. Follow me. Beautiful. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go back to our back test. Review using RG and less and advise where we'd update it before we do it. Boom. And I still have a couple of secret weapons, right? That I'm going to be like, yo, what up, though? All right, beautiful. Modify. Okay, yes. All right, double check your work. Then once confirmed, let's proceed. All right, I'm going to turn on the auto. That's what this purple means, is that it doesn't need me to accept it, is that I'm going to auto accept the work, right? So, hey, I better cross fingers, hope it's doing it right. It is, right? I gave it clear instructions. I didn't leave anything to chance. So I'm gonna let this work. Give me a second. I'm gonna go grab some agua real quick. All right, beautiful, beautiful. It's updating our back test. Gucci Dim. Now remember, it was at 1300 before, right? Let me take the. Okay, I gotta remember just to come up and go here. So let me take these parms. I'm gonna put in the chat, bruh, back test results. This is 2024. And also want to put the sharp so I can keep that intact. What else do we care about? Max drawdown, system quality. I'm all right. Where's the max drawdown? This is where we started, fam. You gotta be able to say, be humble with it. All right. What I'm also gonna put is the win rate. We gotta be humble with it, fam. So I put all of that in the strategy. We just updated it. Now we ready to run said strategy. You know what I love about it? It like auto files it away, bro. So like I don't gotta worry about. I love my brain sometimes. Python, run that thing. I gotta fix the. It was tripping me out the first time. I was like, oh, never mind. You're still running, right? We're running it on SPY. I think I told y'all that before. The S&P 500, the top 500 companies within the New York Stock Exchange. So give it a second. Y'all know as soon as it loads, it flies, but it just has to load the data. It's loading 10 million data points, right? So you imagine you doing something 10 million times and how long that's going to take you. Are you doing something 97,000 times? How long is that going to take you? Okay. We're getting a bit better movement, fam. I don't know. I think it could be. Now remember, I put the results in there and I put them there for a reason. And y'all see I just changed one thing. Added one thing and I added a minimum threshold. Now look where we at. Look where we at, fam. Look where we at. Hold on, hold on. I want to start from the top. I want to start from the tip top. It went from $100. Now, I want to put this in the chat so I can just talk my shit a little bit. After adding BBP and min threshold of 0.03, had to argue with AI for this. Here are the results. Let me give you the return. Let me also give you the Sharp ratio, 0.91, and it started at, what did Sharp start at? Sharp started at 0.15, fam. The Sharp started at 0.15. The Sharp is now at 0.91. What else do I want to give you? System quality was at 2. Now it's at 8.49. Max drawdown. Remember max drawdown was at 72.5%. Max drawdown is at 10% right now, fam. And I didn't even do everything I wanted to. Let's look at this win rate. Win rate, we only had 85 trades. So that's another thing to look at, right? So it's not really too much parity, right? Because the previous results had almost 200 and some odd trades, whereas this one was only 85 trades. But out of those 85 trades, I won 81% of the time, right? So that slides. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Profit factor of 13.50. So for every dollar that we're losing, we're making 13 bucks. Only one losing month. All right, bet. So I think this is a bit too restrictive. So let's go to, wait. Let's go to 0.02. All right, this is what I want to see real quick. No, yep, 0.02 and entry time of 9:40. And keep everything else the same. All right, bet, let's run it. That's a high. Um, that's high. I'm not gonna hold you. That stop loss is high. All right, let's run it and let's see the results. Let's make sure. Piss me off. Let's run it and get our results. Let's run it. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think I did use this pivot clouds to be able to create our cloud 9 strategy. Now that I think about it. Now that I think about it. All right, here we go. Strategy is loading. As you can see, it gets a little bit faster, right? It just takes a little bit of patience, bro. Once you trust it, bro, like it's gonna slide. Okay. I think we're getting a little bit more action. I'm not gonna hold you. All right, each little addition that we're doing is getting better, fam. It's getting better, fam. It's getting better. Um, let's go to. Let's start at the top. Went from $100 to 10,000. That's what's up. Sharp ratio drop. Went from 0.91. We started at 15, and to 0.91 was the highest I seen it. And the increase must have exploded. Okay, the max drawdown must have exploded. It's 16. Went from 10 to 16. Win rate is what? 70%. This is off 175 trades. I'm good here. All right, I'm Gucci here because I have a little bit more edge to add to this, fam. Trust me, we got some edge to add to this, fam. What we're gonna say is like, all right, bet. Now I want to go run it on 2023, fam. Review, and then we want to run it on 2023, but we want to make sure that the system we have in place for saving the files, etc., is actually working and able to properly iterate through the years and get the precise version and properly save the file, right? We noticed it didn't, or just overwrote. It didn't really work for 24. Let's find the issue and what could be the potential bottleneck before we proceed with running on 2023. We got some. I'm not gonna hold you, man. We've made some clear strides. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just add this one little last comment. And then I won't comment no more. I'm just gonna keep it to myself. Right? I'm gonna keep it to myself and everybody that's watching. I'm not gonna comment no more. I'm just gonna add this one little comment, right? So I'm gonna say adjusted the entry time and threshold to 0.02 and got boom. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say no more. Right? I'm only gonna keep it between y'all, everybody that's watching. I'm not gonna say no more. Don't worry. So you can steal this code too. Don't worry. No problem. No auto versioning. The text always V1. Okay. Will this be able to determine what we're doing for this particular back test? Right? Like for this one, it will be the baseline. But if we change a parm or a setting, will it catch it? Then update the file name accordingly, not just timestamp based. See, example of how and want to get this working properly so we don't have to do it on the back end, but system does it for us. Whoa. Bet. Let me just make sure that was Gucci. But I'm not gonna hold you, man. This is kind of stamping what we're doing right now. We had a strategy that was kind of almost dead in the water. It went from 100, almost 250 to one trade, $1,300 to a strategy that's 175 trades, 10,000. So that's not bad at all. Hashtag key parms. Check if okay. Exact ready. All right. Auto generate. Beautiful. I love it. 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 Want me to implement it? All right, perfect. Let's implement it. Let me just get you on auto so you can go ahead and push play yourself, homie. And that's something I'm going to still use for other backtests too. So I kind of wanted to get that flushed out anyway. So I'm kind of glad that we did. So I want to use that for other backtest, homie. Other backtest, baby. Sometimes I be loving my brain, bruh. I'll be like, damn, I really could think. It's not all this AI, bruh. Remember, it's the artificial part. So we got to be able to fill in the gaps. Like my brain could do that type shit. It's a community effort too, because I ain't gonna hold you. Sometimes, I really do be getting love from the community. Y'all can like really point me in the right direction. Because I've only been doing this since about April of this year, right? It is 2024. It is December 2025. Whenever you're watching this, so give or take about 10 months, 11 months, right? And I just found this algo trading in July. So I'm super new to algo trading, but I've kind of learned how to code and I learned how to code. And while this is outputting, I figured let me just give a little synopsis of who the fuck I am, what I'm doing, right? I learned, oh, never mind. Because before, let me show you another backtest file. No, let me show you one that's ridiculous. Where is it? 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 Y'all see this? If you don't manage it, this is what happens. See, if you don't manage it, this is what happens. This is why I want to manage it now, right? So everything is already organized. I don't have to worry about shit. I just forgot the file. Damn it. Oh, bruh, in bruh. Here we go. Everything's already organized. Oh, so I just got to do, because sometimes it'll be big brain in this. Hold on. Clear Python 2023. Oh, some tell me. Big brain. Let's go. Brought it 2023. Now I'm going to see how that works. I just want to see how well it performs, right? Because we're just testing it on 2024, but I just updated a few params, and I still got two more things that I need to add, right? And I want to do this step by step, and you're going to see, is this going to be a benefit or is this going to be a detriment, right? So I'm interested to see how this is going to work out. Whoa, real interested to see. The first thing I'm going to add after this is going to be relative skewness. So keep that term in mind. I did talk about this before in another stream. Oh, yeah, relative skewness is going to help this out. I'm saying, oh, but it's still like almost, oh, it's over $1,000. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I'm not greedy. Anything over $1,000, I'm like, and you started with 100, so take that into respect, right? So let's go look at it. Oh, sharp is 0.52. Still 10,000. Sharp is 0.52. All right. System, all right, 7.5. What's the drawdown? 27. So you got to stomach that. And I think our relative skewness is definitely going to help this out. 67%, 212 trades, 3.6. Yeah, relative skewness is definitely going to help this out. All right, bet. All right, here we go. Whoa. Let me just make sure it worked. 2023, beautiful baseline, empty start. I love it. Big brain shit. Let's go. I'm going to bring relative skewness into the conversation, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bring relative skewness into the conversation. So hold on. Now, perfect. We want to add RS to the strat. Review using grep, RG, bat, less terminal commands to understand it, then explain it to us, right? Then before we add, we'll show you a reference implementation of how to do it, but make sure you get the context slash concepts first. Well, a relative skewness, I'm not gonna hold you. How did I find it? Google Scholars. And what is Google Scholars? It's a platform that academics, PhDs, those individuals that have been studying a topic for 10, if not decades long, right? In order for them to answer simple questions like, all right, does a limit or market order impact you to being able to purchase options, right? Or does relative skewness help us to be able to figure out when is the market going against us, right? So that's what we're going to be using. So we already fixed our entry, right? So the way that the signal finds, the way that the strategy finds signal has kind of already been polished up. What we're going to do now is polish up how we're going to exit the position. Okay, what is RS? RS measures whether the day has more big up moves or scary down moves, right? Here is the function if you're into that sort of thing. The RS values, a positive RS values, let us know that there's more bullish jumps. What does a bull want? A bull wants to be able to push past resistance, right? This is good for calls because calls are looking for bullish moves, want to be able to ride the market up. Negatives is more bearish. This is good for puts, right? Not necessarily, we don't have to skip it, but it's good for puts because it's bearish. And zeros are flat days or sometimes choppy days. RS or relative skewness is not a predictor. It allows us to be able to gauge real time what the market is doing, right? So if the previous day RS was 0.6, this was useless, but same day RS is 0.80, right? So RS doesn't predict what the market is doing. It allows us to measure what is happening right now. So how to use it, we're going to enter into a signal. This is our position size. No, it's not position sizing. No. This is not to add for position sizing. Well, review. I'm going to give it a little simp back test that we added. Where is it? Boom. Review using RG, less, grep, and arc to understand how we did it here. Then let's discuss how we can add for our strat. We're working on. So let's figure out how we can do this, bruh. Sunu, Sunu, Sunu. Skedaddling. That's crazy, right? There we go. It should understand RS and how we're using it. Ah, fuck. But this is for Morning. I should have gave it for give me a second. Hold on. Damn. Is it penny for you? Is it penny for you? I think penny for you has it. Um RS. Okay, hold on. Let me just double check. Oh, that's the bot. It wouldn't be in the bot. No shit. It would be in the back test. This is the machine learning. Let me see RS. Hold on. Okay. Well, is it sniper? I think it's sniper. I think it's QQQ. Give me a second. Y'all just give me 2 shakes of a second, man. I'm just trying to figure out. We're gonna do this right the first time and not multiple times. RS filter. Wait, that's RSI. That's a nut. RS. Beautiful. So you can see it for a morning strat review using grep rg awk before we implement it into the backtest. Not RSI, bruh. RS. There we go. Don't fold. Don't fold. All right, true. I love it. We're going to calculate. Then RS at entry. Okay. Call. Beautiful. Farms. In position. Track it for analysis. All right. Also, we want to make sure that the ending metrics as well is updated with this. Review the before mentioned backtest. Should have the logic for you to review. Once you have it, let's proceed to update file as well. Billowing. Isn't that smoke just piling or coming out? Pause. Mi ambilo. Mi ambilo. All right, I'm stopped. Sometimes I'll be forgetting. Kind of live to the world, not just to the city, but the world, Craig. All right, beautiful. You got it. I'm not gonna hold you, man. I'm kind of like one subscriber away from hitting triple digits. And I really do appreciate y'all. I kind of want to take this time just to say thank you for being able just to not support me, but to follow me, man, because I am just some random guy on the internet. I hope that you all are getting not only just value, but you're understanding the processes of what I'm doing, right? If there's any point in time that you want me to break something down or further go through it, I definitely will. I want us to be able to grow together, right? Even though I am primarily going to be the one working on set strategies, it doesn't mean I'm not open to feedback or interpretation. Like previously, there was a subscriber that wanted a little bit more, I would say, explanation of our Sharp ratio, and I definitely do appreciate that. The what do they call that? Discourse, right? Because it allows me to be able to not just be in an echo chamber, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to claim to know everything, but what I claim to do is to be consistent with my work and to be forefront about it, right? And there's something that I don't know, or if there's something that I need more research on, I'm definitely going to do that. But all in all, I appreciate you, and just know more is coming. More great stuff is coming. So this is 99 in. We're going to be a point in time where we're going to remember, yo, y'all remember it was just like barely over 100 type shit. you know. But listen, man, I appreciate y'all, and like more great stuff is coming, fam. But stick around, my youth. I'm not Jamaican, but sometimes I will catch a accent. But nonetheless, whatever. 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 All right, our back test is getting ready. Y'all see this, bruh. If you don't keep control, man, it just gets ridiculous, bruh. It just gets ridiculous if you don't manage it. If you don't manage it from Front Street, it gets ridiculous. If you don't manage it from Front Street, it gets ridiculous, bruh. Y'all ever had those wedges from KFC? I was just thinking about that. Like, bro, I kind of would stop this stream just to go get a wedge. But I just remember it's the 24th. I don't even know if they're open. All right, let me shut up. My fault. I kind of woke up early as fuck this morning to be able to go jog at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's kind of like weighing on me right now. I've been up all this time. I was supposed to take whatever. So no. We're going to hit billowing and let me know for Gucci. Beautiful. We're going to run it on 24, fam. We already have our before. Now it's on. Let me make sure it's on. Sometimes it could be a great thing. Like, bro, just get me to where I want. Okay, it's on. It's on. So let's run it. Let's get it, shawty. Now remember, we went from $100 to I think we're just about 10K. I've added one more edge, so let's see how well that is able to help, or does it hurt it, right? Because that can happen too. I don't claim to know everything, but what I claim to be is consistent. So let's see what happens. Whatever. Oh, maybe it did help it. Holy shit. Y'all see, I kind of want to pop my shit right now. I kind of want to pop my shit right now. Y'all, I didn't even add my little secret weapon that I thought was really going to help it take it over the top. 79% win rate. That's crazy, fam. Sharp is at 0.93. Listen, I know, but we're gonna review it. We're gonna review it. Strategy started at $100, went to 25K, fam. And all I added was the relative skew. We added the BB power, and I adjusted the threshold, and I adjusted the entry time. So 4 things that I did to this strategy, right? It started at 1300, failing strategy in my eyes, right? Just about 50% win rate. Now it's at $100 at 25,000. So this strategy just worked a job every day, turned it on, and was able to. I gave it $100, and it came back at the end of the year with 25,000. That's not bad. Sharp ratio of 0.93. Again, it's not above 1, but for me in my house, a sharp ratio that's north of 0.7 good for me. I'm not raising money. I would consider myself a quant. I'm not a hedge fund, right? So they're looking for sharp ratios north of 2, 1.5, right? Mine's of 1.75. It makes sense for me because of the amount of risk that I'm willing to tolerate. Uh System qualities 1228 type shit. Max drawdown is 5%. That's interesting. But the max drawdown of 5%, I would think that the sharp would be a little bit higher, but I mean, that's not bad. Profit factor, what's the profit factor? 79% win rate out of 75 trades, right? You can almost, so 7 out of every 10, we're winning. Profit factor of $18. So for every dollar that we're losing, we're making $1. But this, we did a thing. We did a thing, y'all. We did a thing. We started at 1,300. We're at 25,000 now. We did a thing, man. We did a thing. I still got one more thing. I still have something else to add. Like, I ain't even add what I wanted to yet, bruh. What I really thought was gonna take this over the top, I ain't really even added. A 24 trade win streak, 3 trade lose streak. Best trade 1,300. Worst trade 253. Yeah, we slid, man. We slid. Review before we run it on 2023. We slid, y'all, and I still have one more thing to add, fam. I still have one more thing to add. Oh. See, you didn't do it. Oh, this is 24. That's why. Okay, 24. Beautiful. Okay, so it did do it. Moment of truth. Who? Yeah, we better across the board. With the interpretation, RS is catching the trades early that would have gone worse, even though RS exits. The win rate is lower. It's still protecting capital and reducing drawdown significantly. Okay, beautiful. Let's go ahead and run it on 23 and see how well it does. And I still have one more thing to add to our backtest, fam. Like, I ain't even do what I was supposed to, fam. Like, hold on. And remember, I tested this. Yeah, I bet it pulls 2023. I think this may be the theme of the night. You feel me? Just going through strategies. So this is a strategy I got to make the bot for. This strategy, maybe I think I could tweak a couple more things. Let me see. Big brain shit. Oh snap. We're matching. Okay, the parms existing is matching, but it shouldn't be matching because it's something new. Hold on. It shouldn't be matching. We just added RS and we're running V2. Let's find the issue. Well, it uses RS exit and RS above. It's not included in the parmed fingerprint. Let me fix that. Oh, got you. Oh, that's incredible. I don't know why I just had that song stuck in my head. My fault. Bet. All right, bet. Let's run it. 2023. All right, bet. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Bring 'em out. Bring 'em out. Bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the bad rail's in the mouth. What is a bad rail? Okay, I got some time. I don't want to Google that. Like, a bad rail. That's a bed rail. Did he say that? A bed rail's in your mouth? Why would you put a. Never mind. Let me shut up. Y'all know that song, though, right? Bring 'em out. Let me. Okay. Excuse me. All right, we're running it on 2023 based on the updates that I have done. And I want to see, does the strategy get better? And look at that. It kind of does. Not kind of. Like, it kind of exploded, fam. Not kind of, but did. Sharp ratio, 9.8. Let me look at why. Let me look at why before you even say so. 14.32. Max drawdown is 9. What's the win rate? 83% out of 212 trades. So 8 out of every 10, we winning. Profit factor of 17.23. What does that mean? For every dollar that we're losing, we're making $17 back. That's like somebody saying, "Oh man, I'm sorry that I lost you money, but here's $17." What? That's crazy. Best trade 1600, worst trade 434. The maximum consecutive wins was 16. That's kind of crazy. Max consecutive loss was 2. I love it. Time analysis every month. A monthly performance, month on month. It seems like we're getting larger. Yep. Only downturn here. Okay, a little downturn, but month on a little downturn, but still, I love it. And calls and puts, it looks like we're performing a little bit better with puts. That makes sense because this is mean reversion. And then calls is still 777. I think that's a good thing. Time of day at 11 a.m. Hunt's 100%. We still are in the lowest is 1045. Yeah, that's the lowest. And then days of the week, every day is it's not a day that's under 50%. I think that's kind of crazy. RS filter. That's not bad, man. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. For us to be able to really go under the microscope and figure out the issues and then fix it, fam. I think we did a great job. What about you? Right? And this is just the first strategy. I have 11 more. Don't worry, I'm not going to have you go through all 11, but I'm going to do a big dent in this review, and let's discuss. Fam, I think we unlocked something, man. I still got one more thing to add, though, fam. Like, I'm not even done. I still have one more thing to add that maybe take the strategy over the top. Remember, we started at 1300. Massive, massive. Both stable. Strategy is robust across both years. The RS exit filter adds value by cutting the losers early while keeping the winners running. What's next? Nope. I have this for you next, fam. Next, we're going to be going to the slippage model. And what is slippage is what you expect to pay versus what you actually pay. So when we find the strategy or when we find the signal, let's say we find it at $25, right? When we actually get the order filled, it gets filled at $50. So that 25, that switcher could be that high too, right? Especially with 0 DTE. That $25 is the slippage. So what we've done, again using Google Scholars, is being able to find a paper that studied this for 10 years. Even though, little caveat here, it was back in March of 2027. Excuse me, 2027, shit. March of '07, right? This paper was done in March of '07. The study period was between, I think, like 98 and '02 or whatever, right? So it's a little dated, so we had to update it for current market number one, and also for 0 DTE. It really wasn't a thing back then. Most people are still doing weeklies. There were dailies, but not really the environment that we're in right now, right? So those are a couple of things we had to take into account, but the structure of it, it's still solid and sound. So what I want to do is say I want to share that. Still both white papers that we have added on to the original paper. That's what I like to do. Whenever I see a paper, it's like, all right, I think I have a couple things to add on to it. So I'll create a white paper for it. So now review using grep rg bat less to understand the slippage and how it works before we add it to the backtest well. That's what's up. That's what's up. You know who has it? Let me just go get QQQ because QQQ definitely has it. Where you at? Where you at? You are right here. Oh, you already went there. That's what's up. Yeah, already went there. I love it. Let me just make sure you understand it. So slippage is the difference between the expected price, right, and the actual fill price based on the 294 SPY 0 DTE trades research. Here's what we were able to find out, right? So I did my own research, right? So I took the data and I was able to test it based on 5 years of SPY data from 2020 to 2024, and being able to see if the Gregoff or those, hey, it was three people. I'm not. Don't ask me to remember their names right now. My brain is kind of fried. But nonetheless, it was three individuals that wrote this paper, and then we tested or we validated it on the 5 years of data. So that's the 294 million data points that we traded in order to validate it. And this is what we came up with. So key insight is that widespread equals a negotiation opportunity, right? Not just risk. Traders get better fills on wide spreads. So this is how we're going to implement it. That's how we're going to add it. Okay. Did you already check it? Let me give you one more. Make sure to review and ensure you're not missing anything before we add it to the file. Well, give me a second, y'all. All right, here we go. There we go. I was looking for that. All right, perfect. All right, proceed. Proceed. So what we're going to do is go ahead and add the slippage work to our back test. So our back test went from starting at 100 trades to $1,300. Right now it's at so it's depending on the year. Let's do 2024, right? Because that was just last year. We're back testing it, right? So it went from 100 trades to 1,300. Then we went from 82 trades to 8,500. Then we went from 175 trades, just under 10K. Now what we're doing is adding an optimize, or excuse me, not really. We're optimized, but not really. I'm adding another element to this back test so we can give it a little bit more edge, right? So our main aim here is to be able to go through all of the back tests that I created with y'all, right? Fix them, get them right. I'm not going to create the bots today. The main idea is to fix set strategies. Then once their strategies are fixed, maybe I'll come back later tonight. I don't know. Maybe I'll even do it tonight. Is to get them up and running. So I'm probably going to do one or two more. I'm not going to hold you. I don't want to make this video super long. But I just want to get the point across that we do have some edge over here, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I'm just not yapping shit, right? Is that I want to finish the work that we started over here, bruv. So this is just part one, fam. Part one, part one. Sweet Wawa. Um, I don't need a day. I need the day before. Whoa. I bet. I got one or two more strats that I'm gonna do with you. Then after that, or maybe I'm just gonna stop it here and just keep it very concise. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do, right? So I want to keep this very concise. I'm gonna keep this at one strategy. Then I'm gonna come back with part two of this video, and being able to go through it a little bit more expeditiously, right? Hashtag tip. Pause. But nonetheless, man, this is great stuff, and I am super excited about this. So this is going to be part one. Then I'm going to come back and we're going to do part two. So I always want to keep this super short, so y'all can see the great work that we're doing, and I don't want to confuse you with the different strategies, right? All right, guap. So now I can copy you. I can come here. I can paste you. Boom, boom. All right, get me right, get me right, get me right. Again, if you all do have any questions at all as I'm working through this, please don't be afraid to ask. This is a community effort, right? Just because I'm the one behind that's driving the boat doesn't mean I'm not willing to be able to take recommendations from the people them, because I am the people them as well. You know, just because I'm driving the boat don't mean I ain't with you. I am with you 10 toes. So I am keeping this video a bit short. I am going to only work on one strategy. Then the next video, part two, is going to be a little bit more lengthy and expeditious. Who knows? I may even do it on Christmas. I kind of had this other idea that I wanted to introduce y'all to Sona, which is the Smart Option News Analyst, our AI that I'm going to be creating here with you, Sona. So I was thinking about doing that with y'all, but I may just end up finishing this work, right? If you do want to fuck with me on Christmas, I mean, I appreciate you. I just don't want to assume everybody. This is a global world, right? I don't want to push my beliefs and what I think. I don't want to be that American, right? But if you do have some time tomorrow on the 25th, come fuck with me. You know, definitely going to be here. Definitely got some work to get in. Pause. And there is going to be again, it's going to be a little bit lengthy, so just like buckle up your trim strap. If you need to come in and out, that's fine. Pause. Like I'm just saying. Mom, let me just shut up and wait. There's fireworks on Christmas Eve. Boy, they said if we can do it, we are. They said if we can do it, we are. And there's this. Okay, hold on. All right, bet. Get me right. There's a minor warning. Let me add the slippage model to the version fingerprint. Fuck with me. That means y'all really, really fucking with this one. Fuck with me. Yeah. I agree. It's still going crazy. Oh shit, I can stop talking. 2024. I thought this was the error you're going to fix. You just pump fake me. Little pump fake. Get me right. Hold on. Now we've done 5 things to the strategy. the bear bull power, the bearable power threshold, the RS filter, the entry time, and then now the slippage model. So let's see how this improves or impacts it. Is it going to be a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I don't know. So let's see. That's crazy. Y'all see this, right? Y'all see this real time. Like, I ain't bullshitting. You see this real time. You see this real time, fam. You see this real time and where we started and where we at right now. The strategy started at $100. I want to make sure I get this fucking point across. The strategy started at $100 and it was at 1,300, right? $100 and it went to 1,300. Right now the strategy is at $100 and it made $60,000. Granted, I understand it's a back test. Granted, I understand this is historic data. Granted, I understand this is a past, but still, bro, big question is if it could do well in the past, what can it do in the future? And just look at the Sharpe ratio. The Sharpe ratio is finally above 1. Sharpe ratio is at 1.37, bro. This is fantastic for me in my house. That means 18 for the system quality. Y'all know we started at 2. Drawdown is at 1. Look at the drawdown. Drawdown is at 1, fam. 1.28. 97% win rate just by what we've done. A profit factor of $110. So for every dollar that the strategy lost, it felt so bad that it had to go make us $110. That's crazy. That's crazy. We found something, ladies and gentlemen. We found something. We found something. A strategy that works. Review and let's discuss. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go get 2023 loaded. Let me go get 2023 loaded. Let me make sure 2024 did its thing. It did. Boom. I love it that you listening to me. Run on 2024 to get. Bro, I know. That's what I'm doing right now. My brain's bigger than yours. My fault. Sometimes I can be ridiculous. All right, we're running our back test. I only did 5 things to the strategy to be able to improve it, right? If you got to do more than that, that's why I feel like you just got to be able to just trash the strat, bro. Sometimes you got to know when the race is over, as Tom Brady would say, you know? But what I'm seeing right here is that we've not only fixed the strategy, but we've made it stand out and to be one of our top performing strategies, right? So I'm really interested to see how it's going to perform. Oh, okay, wait, talk your shit. The strategy went from $100. Y'all, and y'all seen the struggle, man. Y'all was with me shooting in the gym. This is 2023, bruh. The strategy went from 100, bro. I just feel like I gotta pop my shit, man. After 5 changes, BB power, RS, entry time, and slippage model. We're at. I gotta pop my shit real quick, man, because this is ridiculous, fam. Where's our Sharpe ratio? Is at 1.54, right? Where's our system quality? Is at 22 in the third, man. Come on, bruh. Where's our drawdown? Is at 1.23. Jordan. 98% win rate. Come on, man. The strategy felt so bad that at one point in time it was like, you know what? I lost you money. Let me go give you. I lost you $1. Let me give you 200. That's on me. Hey, bruh. We done found something, ladies and gentlemen. We done found some edge. We done got some alpha up in this strategy, man. Everybody want to talk about, oh, Yeah, that's why you don't give up on things. That's why sometimes you gotta let it rest, put it to the side, and just come back to it when like it's fresh. Review and let's discuss. Yeah, this is where we're gonna call this a good stopping point. This is gonna be 90 minutes of great work that y'all just got. How we went from a strategy that was completely flailing in the wind, a strategy that was DOA, right, and we was able to recitate it, and get it to a point where it's at 98% win rate. When the strategy started, and I have the notes here, we were at hold on, I'm looking, 50% win rate, 251 trades. Final balance was $1,319.26, man. Y'all see where we at right now. 98% win rate, 9 out of every 10. Profit factor is getting ridiculous, right? Max drawdown is a lot more controlled. 2023 had net positive slippage, but due to wide trades, the one negative 9.2 price improvement was very more than the offset. So the strategy is validated across both years with consistent metrics. So we went ahead and fixed the strategy, ladies and gentlemen. I have 10 more strategies to do like this. Are they going to be the same thing? Are we going to get the same results? If you haven't already, I need you to go ahead and like so more people can find this content too. If you got great work from this, and go ahead and subscribe so you can see how we fix our other 10 strategies. It is your boy Creative. I will be back at it again with another episode, and if we don't talk again, make sure you have